E! True Hollywood Story presents Shania.
When I meet kids now, they're all like, wow, that's Shania. But when I first started, it was a different story.
I knew Shania before she was a big star, but she was a different person back then.
Even as a baby, Shania was already performing.
On her third birthday, she was singing, dancing, and acting like a pro.
But it wasn't until she had a taste of success that the acting bug really bit her.
Growing up near Shania wasn't always easy. I met her at school before she became a Christian, and she was always good at stuff, but she was selfish and kind of a drama queen.
At the age of 5, Shania nabbed a sought-after commercial role as the kid on the Funny O's cereal box. Soon after, the calls started coming in. She modeled for Elle Fashions before auditioning for a role in the feature film Stargazer. It seemed like she had it all.
After Shania was cast in Stargazers, she went totally bonkers. I mean, she was making all kinds of money, but she spent it just as fast as she made it. I mean, she even had to ask me for money, and my allowance is only $2 a week.
Shania was always borrowing money and never paying it back. And she was always being mean because she was a big star and we weren't.
Shania was making as much money or more than her father and I, and we began to lose control of her spending.
She'd go to the mall. She'd come back with clothes, boats, pets. She'd spend tens of thousands of dollars in no time at all.
When Shania filed for bankruptcy at 10 years of age, nobody would hire her.
We'd go to audition after audition, and it was like, oh, aren't you that Funny O's girl that went bankrupt?
But then the jobs stopped coming. Shania's parents sold their home and spent their savings to keep Shania out of the juvenile detention center.
When I first met Shania at an audition for Eddie's Shake Shop, well, she totally rocks now. But then, she was a bit of a snob. When I met Sam and her brother Adam, I didn't realize how much it would affect my life.
My sister and I have always been involved at church. We read our Bibles, we're on the kids' ministry team, and we go to youth group. And we really live it.
When Adam and I first met Shania, she was at rock bottom. She was selling off all of her clothing to secondhand stores, and her family lived in a van by a river. She had spent all their money. It really wasn't until I met Sam and Adam that I learned that my life was headed off course. They told me stuff about God and how I could never buy enough stuff to fill the gap in my heart and in my life. And they were right, you know. Well, right there, I asked Jesus into my life, and not more than 10 minutes later, I was cast into Kids Studio, and my life turned around. Within days, God had turned her life around, and even her parents got saved.
God really changed her life once she found out that all she had to do was ask Jesus into her life.
It was like day and night.
Life wasn't always this great. It's like God totally cares. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen next.